The Tigers are coming off a 5-4 win against a very good Astros team, but it was a series loss. Schoolball does get the win, allowing only one run through almost 7 full innings. And Alex Lang, I'm saying that correctly now. Thank you guys who commented that down below because I was saying it wrong before. But Alex Lang got his second save, and we are 2-4 on the season. So after a string of 4 losses, we get back in the win column for the first time since opening day. But now we have series against the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, the Giants, Guardians, Baltimore a couple of times, and the Brewers as well. And we're going to get through the rest of April today. So the rest of the first month of the season. My plan going forward is to pretty much just go by the calendar and go month by month per episode. So have pretty much 1 month per episode until we get to either the postseason or the offseason, whichever one we actually do come across. But we're 2-4, and let's start with a couple of lineup changes. So I saw one comment that actually made a whole lot of sense, and it's that if Miggy has, low speed, and he just can't move at all, pretty much, should he really be in our third spot in the batting order for both righties and lefties? And I think that's a good point. So instead, I think I might go with either Austin Meadows or Eric Haas. I think I like Austin Meadows more. So we're going to put Miggy down to 6th behind Haas, and we'll have Meadows go up to 3rd, at least for righties. And then we also have Javi Baez, and I think he also might be worth moving up a little bit in the batting order, but it's only 6 games in, so I think I'll move him up 1 spot above Scope. But otherwise, I think we'll keep him around there, at least for righties. And for lefties, I like where he is for leadoff. And for Miggy, we can replace him with probably Matt Vierling, who is actually a really good contact hitter against lefties. So he has a good shot of getting on base, and he also has quite a bit of speed there. So you move Miggy at least behind cleanup, and I think I'll keep him there. As for Austin Meadows, he has not batted well against lefties pretty much at all during his career. So I think we'll keep him at 9th for now, and if he continues to struggle against lefties this year, then we might have to bring in somebody else for a platoon sort of a thing. And some folks did want me to put up Baez's potential back up to 85 or 90 or somewhere like around there. But I think I'll leave it where it is because players can still play very well with a rating around 75. And if he does, he probably will improve it like rating wise. So I'd rather just let that happen organically than force anything there. So we're going to start off here by simming the series against the Red Sox and against the Blue Jays, and then see if there's any critical situations or player luck we can get into against the Giants or the Guardians perhaps. Guardians might be better because they are in our division. They're honestly like probably our top rival, especially the last couple of years. They have owned us. I mean, most of the AL Central has. It's been most of the White Sox and Guardians that have just had complete control over this division, or at least, against us in our matchups. So those two teams are ones to watch out for, and they're off to a good start too at 6-1. So we could jump in for a couple of critical game situations, but if there are not many of those, we'll just do some player luck against the Guardians down here, and then we'll wrap up later on, probably with this series against the Orioles to round out April. It's not always going to be formatted this exact way. I might put, the showcased games at the beginning and then sometimes the player lock games. So this depends how I want to go. But I think we'll do some player luck against the Guardians here after simming a little bit. So we have reached week 2 for scouting because it's now the next Sunday on the calendar. And we have Valenzuela has discovered 1 outfield prospect. Up to 3 players discovered per week, but only 1 so far. And we scouted 8 left fielding prospects in the Eastern region. And we also got up to 77% on Felix Salas. So let's check him first. He's our first real player that we've actually taken a look at. And according to his potential, which you can see all the info here once I get through all these helpful pop-ups, We have the present attributes and the future ones. They all have a range because he's only 19 years old. And I do know that as a player gets older, or if a player already is older, then their ranges are shorter because, you know, the older they are, the more you know about them as a player. So we have pretty wide ranges here, but about 15 between each attribute. Yeah, it is 15. So he's definitely, you know, not where he needs to be in terms of hitting, but he's a better power hitter than a contact hitter. He does not look like he's going to have great vision, at least right now, but it's not really expected. But for fielding, this guy right now and potentially could be a really quick and just a really good fielder in general. He's got already really good fielding attributes. He's got already very high stealing. So he definitely is a high speed kind of guy, and he can get some stolen bases for us. So there's your outlook for him, and we'll see about his contact and power as we learn more about it. But I think I want to keep him on here and maybe get to 100% for him. For the others, I think I want to see at least what we scouted and who we discovered as well. All right, so here are all the left fielders that we scouted. There are 8 of them, and the right fielder guy, I believe, is who we discovered with Valenzuela. So a lot of these guys don't really have a rank on the MLB or Tigers draft board, but a couple of them do. In fact, this guy right here, Blaise Posado, at least at 20% scouting, the Tigers have him 30 plus spots above the actual draft rank according to the league. He's only 18 years old, but has a range from 65 to 96 potential. So really big ranges here. I think we might want to keep scouting this area until we have some more guys fully scouted, because right now there's just not a lot of info about these players, except for somebody like Ronald Bullock, who I told you guys, you know, older players you have more info on. So we know that he at least is a 60 overall, or no, at least a 60 potential, and his max potential is 76, according to us at 40% scouting so far. So it's not entirely accurate. His overall is not very high, but he's another guy that, you know, is going to be a pretty decent base stealer, base runner as well. But honestly, looking at the future attributes for both contact, power, and for just fielding in general, does not seem like I want to keep him on our scouting board. There's also Edward Lopez. We talked about Blaise Posado. There's Mario Diaz, who might be decent. Elliot McNeil with not high potential. JT Rosen, maybe. That's the guy that we discovered. And then Philip Drotar with some pretty big ranges there. 21 years old, 4-year junior. Timothy Bradshaw, only 18 years old. Eric Pules. So those are all the guys that we have scouted so far. So this week, we're going to keep Fielder on Salas for more scouting for him to try and get him done. And for both Valenzuela and Harvey Hoover, I think this week at least, I'm going to focus on scouting an entire position like we did last week with Hoover. So we'll take Valenzuela, and he's really good with position players. And we're going to go, instead of the West, let's go to more international as well. And we can go, let's try, for instance, left field this time, just to cover more left fielders. And then for Hoover, I think I want to think about maybe catcher for a little bit. So we'll go central here. Left field, international, catching and central, and then Salas at third base. So we'll do this once more. And then for this, I think I'll keep the third base one on there. I'll keep left field on there, but I want to change right field to catcher for this week. By the way, for our coaching staff, we have at least 2 coaching staff members who have expiring contracts this season, which includes the manager, AJ Hinch. We'll see about him. We'll see how we do this season. There's first base coach Camden Lee, who has -1 fielding and -1 blocking. We can definitely do better there. So probably going to let him go and look elsewhere, because I think we can get better attributes for our team. And we can also make adjustments elsewhere, but Might cost us more money to get rid of these guys because they have several years left on their contracts. Okay, so we sim a series against the Red Sox, and we took them down in the series 2-1. Game 1 was a 7-0 victory over Garrett Whitlock, and Turnbull got the win. Looks like he pitched pretty well with a very solid ERA, 6 strikeouts. Let's check this box score real quick. Only 4 hits in total for the Red Sox. Nobody hit the ball more than once. And looks like Whitlock allowed 5 runs. And then Bello in the bullpen allowed 2. So for the Tigers, we had 3 hit days from Riley Green and Akil Baddoo. Meadows and Vierling went yard. And we had at least 2 hit days for Vierling, Rogers, and Ryan Kriegler. So Jake Rogers played in this game in place of Eric Haas, which should not have happened, I think. Not sure what happened there, but 5 or 6 strikeouts for Turnbull, 4 hits allowed, 4 walks allowed. Mize came in to finish the job and allowed just nothing at all, and he got 2 strikeouts, it looks like. And he earned the save, so really solid game here. I'm honestly not sure how Jake Rogers got in the game. Maybe Eric Haas got hurt and was just out for that game, but Rogers is on our bench for all of our lineups, so I'm not sure what happened. But in game 2, we lost 6-7. Corey Kluber gets the win, and Lorenzen gets his second loss. Let's see what the damage was. Gave up 13, well, we gave up 13 hits as a team. Homers for Rafael Devers and Adam Duvall, so that's really cool. I mean, Kluber did not pitch very well either. He gave up 6 runs in 5 innings pitched. He gave up all the hits in the game for the Tigers, so their bullpen actually came in and just really played very, very well. They had 4 guys come in and just play extremely solid. We had 3 hit days for Riley Green again, Carpenter, and Eric Haas. Carpenter went yard for the second time this season, and Lorenzen 7 earned runs in 4.2 innings. And then we brought in Matthew Boyd for the rest of the game, and he allowed no runs at all and 7 strikeouts. So he came in, got the job done, but the offense could not get anything off of their bullpen. Game 3 was a win against James Paxton to go for Erod for his first win of the season. So in this one, Justin Turner had a 4-for-4 day, and Hernandez had 3 RBIs. Paxton 5 earned runs in 3 innings. So really good hitting day again against this Red Sox pitching staff. And Austin Meadows went yard. RBIs for Riley Green, Haas, Cabrera, and Meadows. Erod 1 earned run in 6.2 innings. A really solid quality start. Casey Mize came in and gave up a pair of runs, but Lang came in and got the save again. So nice to take that series. We sim our next 3 games against the Blue Jays, dropping the first 2, but then coming back and winning game 3 2-1. So in game 1, it was a win for Alex Manoah. Matt Manning gets the loss. Alex Lang with his first blown save of the year in this game in game 2, because it was 1-1 in the 9th inning, and then they scored bottom of the 10th when he was in there, and we lost. So he gets the loss, blown save, and Chris Bassett gets the loss in game 3. Turnbull does not get the win, I don't think, but he still apparently pitched pretty well. So in this game 3, Meadows went 3-for-4. Carpenter and Cabrera went 2-for-4. And it looks like Turnbull 1 earned run over 6 innings. Great job there. We got holds from Whistler and Cisnero, and Lang came in to get the save. All right, one more series to sim against the Giants. Now we're going to head to game 2, bottom 9. Scoreless game. 4 hits for them, 6 for us. We got Eric Haas at the plate taking on Dave Sclafani to try and walk it off. Clear skies here in Detroit at Comerica Park. As we take the first one, they called it a ball. Thank you, Blue. But no runs for either team. What can Eric Haas do? Swings at the second pitch. Low and outside the zone. 1-1 count. Inside, got him. 1-2. And we strike out looking. Not the best. Not the best at bat right there, I gotta say. That brings up Kerry Carpenter. And he cranks this to center. But it's right to the center fielder. The catch is made. Austin Meadows next up. Swings through that one. Taken for ball 2 is the fastball outside. 1-1 count. Homer could end it. And we foul it off, the fastball. Pretty good spot. 1-2 pitch on the way. Inside, it hits Meadows. He will reach. It's a winning run on base. We'll see if Baez can bring him home. He cranks it to left. Doesn't have enough. We get Meadows to third and Baez to second. Just one more hit can end this game. It's Matt Vierling's time to shine. Taken for ball 1. Slider away. 1 for 7 here in the series is Vierling. And a 1 for 3 on the day. So his one hit here so far against the Giants was in this game. Let's see if he can double that up. Fouled. There's ball 2 outside. Esclafani trying to be a little bit careful here. Wow. Not sure what I just saw right there. That was an extremely low slider. No chance of even touching that one. There's ball 3 low. Full count for Vierling. And he takes ball 4. The base is loaded, 2 outs. It is getting dicey for Nick Maton. Can Maton do it? 1 for 3 today. Inside. Had a really nice meatball right there, but it's fouled off. Just a little bit behind it. Those ones upstairs, a little bit higher in the zone, always get me. And that one's inside. It's a flare. And it's down. The game is over. Nick Maton walks it off. The Tigers get it done. Now 2 straight wins here in the series against the Giants. What a moment for Nick Maton. The walk by Meadows. The double from Javi Baez. And now the walk-off. That is just beautiful. And Erod pitched 8 innings with only 4 hits and 13 strikeouts, no earned runs. Oh my God, he was sick. Matthew Boyd came in and actually got the win, obviously, because we did not score with Erod still out there. And Esclafani obviously gets the loss for allowing the run. And what a job right there by the Tigers. So after a 4-2 win in Game 1, we take them down in that game right there. And now we have Game 3 coming up right here. And more scouting for us to do. So we have scouted 8 more left fielder prospects. We have scouted 8 catching prospects. And we have gotten to 100% for Felix Salas. So his full player card, 19 years old. Really solid potential. The overall is not too bad either. There are plenty of players who are in the 40s or 50s, and he's at least a high 50 prospect at 19 years old. And he looks like a much better fielder to start out than he is going to be in batting. And he's also, probably his best attribute is his base running. He's got really high stealing and really solid speed as well. So we'll cancel his scouting assignment. And now let's go see who we found at left field and catcher. So we've got Emil De Los Santos, Matthew Kyle, Luis Pacheco, Adrian Castillo, Amos Corley, Kevin Weinstein, Sergio Mesa, Damian Sanchez, Eduard Machado, Alonzo Gold, Maurice Klein, Darren Stafford, Zach Kretlow, Ronnie Taylor, Richie Acosta, Jim Gillespie, and that's it. So this shows all the guys that we have scouted this previous week. So I can't actually see who we scouted last week, so we'll just have to keep tabs on that and just keep up to date on who we did that for. But it looks like a lot of these guys have, at least the young guys, they obviously have a really broad range in terms of potential. But Luis Pacheco, actually, very interesting player. He's already going to be at least a 67 overall, and his potential is going to be pretty much the same as his overall is, at least what it looks like. And he's 22 years old, 4-year senior. I think we can keep tabs on him. But I think for this week, I want to go more towards just scouting broader positions and discovering a few more prospects elsewhere. And also Damian Sanchez, really high potential. Overall is not going to be very high, but the potential is there. And then Alonzo Gold, even better. Very low overall at 21 years old. But again, the potential is incredibly high. So for priority 1, I think I want us to do a little bit of more discovery first. And I'll let Darnell Fielder do this one. So we'll do discover. And let's think about the infield in international, perhaps. And then after that, we will go back to scouting more of the left fielders in the international region. And we'll do the same for the catchers in Central. So we can just get more info on those players. It might scout different ones, though, so I'm not entirely sure how that works. And back to our calendar, we have gone above 500 thanks to a series sweep of the Giants, who are 3-12 on the year. In this third game, it was Cobb taking the mound, but he allowed 4 runs and 5 innings pitched. Walked 3 of them. And Crawford homered for the Giants, but it was their only run despite having 12 hits. Not sure how that is even possible. The Tigers score 4 in 1 inning total on 6 hits. Looks like Baddoo hit a 3-run blast, which won us the game, clearly. And he's having a fantastic season, batting .372 so far. Riley Green also batting very well. Looks like the guys who are struggling more so are Austin Meadows, Scope, and Nick Maton. Looks like Ryan Creedler has batted well when he's given the chance to play. But Baddoo goes yard with a 3-run blast. Creedler brings in 1 run and had 1 error as well. But Matt Manning, a really solid day. 7 innings, 10 hits allowed, but only 1 run and 6 strikeouts. So good job to get back on track for him. And Lang gets his 6th save of the season. The Tigers return to Comerica Park here in Game 1 against the Guardians, our first matchup against them this year. They are 11-5 currently. We are 8-7. We're going to see what Akil Baddoo can do today. And again, I'm not trying to ruin his average, so we'll see if I can play better here, but we'll see what happens here. It looks like Cleveland was not able to get on the board, and Akil Baddoo will lead us off here top of the first. First pitch, taken inside. In the zone, though, so strike 1. They got McKenzie out there on the mound. A pretty good pitcher. Reached on. Fouled. 0-2 hole for Baddoo. Oh, we take that one inside. Thank you, Blue. That call could have gone either way. And the breaking ball is left in a great spot to hit, but Baddoo can't do anything with it. Pop outs. And we are done. We jump bottom 4 with the Guardians now in front 1-0. They got that run in the top of the second off of Tarek Skubal. As Baddoo is out in front of the fastball right there. That one's taken inside. 12-6 curve. 1-1 count. Kinsey's pitch is taken. And we swing way ahead of the breaking ball. Down again. Kerry Carpenter just hit a 2-run blast, and then Miggy gets a solo shot off to put Detroit in front 3-1. Due back out there, man on first, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th. Kinsey above 70 pitches now. Wow, what am I swinging at there? I have no idea. But Badu's been very good against right-handed pitchers. Has not gotten a hit off any lefties so far this year, but I'm pretty sure he's not playing against lefties. So that makes sense. Behind that fastball upstairs, as I pretty much always swing at those top fastballs late. Got to get better at that. That one's taken, but runners don't advance. That one's inside. Even count now. Badu fouls it off. High fastball swung on behind it. Popped up to Ramirez for the second time. 0 for 3 so far for Badu. Med Rosario just went yard to close the gap as Matt Whistler checks in for Detroit. And we score a run here, bottom of the 7th. And Badu steps up with the bases loaded, no outs. Huge opportunity against Eli Morgan. Swung on the breaking ball. We got it clipped, and it's down for a base hit. That'll bring home 2 runners. We finally get a hit for Badu, and we bring in 2 runs to increase our lead to 4. That brings up Riley Green, who is also batting very well, and he's only had 1 actual at-bat because he drew 2 walks earlier. But he's out at first, Badu advances. Austin Meadows steps up, 0 for 3 today, as they bring in Connor Pilkington, and Meadows takes the walk, so the bases are once again loaded for Kerry Carpenter, who has already homered once today. Can he do it again with just a complete full base path? Give us a grand slam, Kerry. Nope, he chopped it. And he's out at first, but the runners do advance and a run will score. Eric Haas batting a very solid .315 to start the season. He steps up to the plate. This one is swung on, grounded to Ramirez. He throws, and he's out. And the inning ends, but the Tigers increase their lead again. Back up 7-2. We sim some more as we get through the 8th. As Baez hits a solo shot. And we go to the end of the game. The Tigers win 8-2. Player of the game goes to Miggy for his solo home run on his 2 for 4 day. Skubal gets the win with 2 earned runs through 6 innings. Had 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. And McKenzie gets the loss because they could not score more than 2. But as I said, Rosario went yard. And we had quite a bit of home runs. Love seeing that. We head to game 2 in the series once again, doing some Akil Baddoo player lock. Turnbull gets the start for Detroit. Has had a really good year so far through only a couple of games. But he's played well. And he does allow 2 runs top of the 1st. So not a good start to this game as the Guardians are trying to break our win streak. Quantrill's first pitch swung on and fouled. 2-seamer low got us to swing on it. That one is swung on. Good timing, but couldn't do anything with it. Out at first. I gotta just not swing at those first pitches, man. We go bottom 3. Still 2-0 in favor of the Guardians. There's ball 1. Baddoo 6 for 12 in his last couple of games. What I like to see. Wow, what am I doing there? 1-1, swung on to left field, but right to him. The catch is made there by Stephen Kwan. The Tigers get on the board thanks to a double from Kerry Carpenter, which brought home Austin Meadows. And now Nick Maton hits a 2-run blast to put us up 3-2. Still bottom 5, no outs. Bases have been cleared thanks to Maton. Ball 1 low. Swung on, belted to center. Will it get down? No. The catch is made by George Valera. All right. Still 3-2. Maton's at first. Baddoo back up, trying to avoid going 0 for 4. There's ball 1 taken from Trevor Stephan, I think that's how you say his name. High heater blown by Akil Baddoo. 1-1 pitch inside and taken. Oh, come on, Blue. Need some better calls than that. That was a 50-50, though. That one's low. Full count. Green on deck. Baddoo swings through the splitter. Way ahead of it, and it was below the zone, too. And now a 2-run blast from Miggy increases our lead up to 3. And we take the Guardians down once again, 5-2. Yes, sir. We've already won the series. Now we're 10-7. Things have turned around quickly. Maton gets player of the game thanks to his 2-run shot. Turnbull gets the win with only 2 runs allowed through 6. Quantrill gets the loss. And Miggy once again homered. Eric Haas batting well. Still a 3 for 4 day for him. And we take this one again against the not the Cavaliers. Jesus, the Guardians. My bad. Lang also got his 7th save. So he has, I think, 7 saves and 8 opportunities so far this season at the very least. And it looks like Javi Baez has a fractured chin. He wasn't batting very well this year so far. I think it was below 200. But he's going to be out for 1 to 2 months. We're going to have to put him on... I believe we can put him on our 10-day injured list. And just keep him there. But the 60 days might make more sense. I think we'll start with a 10-day one, though. And hopefully I didn't screw anything up with that. But 6 wins in a row for your Tigers, and now a lineup change coming thanks to the injury. So Scope is currently hitting 228 on the season. I think I'll move him up to 8th and keep Maton down at 9. And then to put somebody at short, gonna either be Creedler, who I think is probably maybe the only option for us to go with, and he's played well in the at-bats that he's been given. You go with him or Wensil Perez, but Perez has not had many at-bats. I think we go with Creedler for now and see how he does, but just keep him down there towards the bottom of the order. And then for lefties, he was the leadoff man, but I think I'm comfortable maybe Green to lead off, Bierling up by 1, and then Scope up to 3rd. See if we can do that, and then we can move Carpenter up 1. And then for 7th, we can bring in Creedler again to play short for now. Game 3 against the Guardians here at Comerica Park. Baddoo once again leads off against a right-handed pitcher, Aaron Savale. Swung on and fouled. Ooh, breaking ball way inside and very low. Taken for ball 1. Left upstairs is the sinker. Thought it was a breaking ball at first, to be honest with you. 1-2 counts. Inside, fouled. What am I looking at? Nick Maton doubled, so he is at 2nd with no outs. Baddoo a chance to bring in a runner and put us on the board. He crushes this one to left, but Did not get enough on it. Just a bit behind the upstairs cutter. We're out on one pitch. Meadows double to bring home Maton right after we flew out. Still no runs for the Guardians, and we go to the 5th. Still 1-0. Sinker fouled off on the first pitch. Gotta do better than I have been batting. Curveball left in there, but late on it. 0-2. And we strike out. The cutter was in a very nice place. That is a tough one to lay off of down 0-2. Solo shot from Ramirez ties things up. So it's 1-1. And no appearances for Baddoo until now after a Maton triple, which brought home a run. Tigers back in front, trying to complete another series sweep for the second time in a row. That one's taken for a ball outside. Eli Morgan once again stepping in out of the Cleveland bullpen. Fastball swung through. Once again behind it. That one's inside. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled. Once again behind it. I am really bad at this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get better. I thought I was decent. That one's taken for a ball. Full counts. Morgan's pitch is taken for the walk. Runners at the corners for Riley Green. Only 1 out. And he almost got a double play line out to first, but luckily Naylor was not able to turn around and make the touch. But that's unfortunate. That brings up Austin Meadows. 1-2 count for him. Can he bring anybody home? It's over. We head to the 8th in a 1-score game. So Kwan takes the walk. 2 outs, stolen base, and then they tie it up thanks to a pair of singles. And now they're in front by 2. A 3-run 8th inning as Haas and Miggy team up for a run. And we go bottom 9. Maton once again reaches. And Detroit needs to put together a rally. No outs. Maton on first. Emmanuel Clase pitching. Wow. Triple digits on the very first pitch. Chill, man. 0-1 swung on. Out in front of that one. 0-2 count. Trying to at least put the ball in play. Not for a ground out, though. Fouled off. Wow. That was coming at you fast. And we just pop out. Over to Rosario. Maton cannot advance. We're going to try and watch the rest of this one. Just to see if we can complete the rally, or perhaps, or not. So we're watching from the bench, obviously. See what happens here. 2-2 count for Riley Green. Swung on and missed. He goes down on strikes. Guardians are 1 out away from avoiding a sweep here. Austin Meadows next up. 1 hit already today. And he added 1 more. 3-1 count for Meadows. And there's ball 4. He takes the walk. That brings up the cleanup hitter. And a pinch runner. Matt Vierling checks in for Meadows to pinch run for him. Kerry Carpenter batting cleanup. He's homered once here in the series. Trying to avoid going 0 for 5 at the plate in Game 3. Strike 1. Strike 2. That was a high one. 1-2 pitch for Carpenter. Swung on. He's out. The game is over. So Maton was 3 for 4. Meadows was 1 for 4. Miggy and Scope 2 for 3. We had 9 hits. They had 10. And that one hit seems to have been just enough for them to win. That loss will keep the Guardians atop of the AL Central for the time being. Let's sim through this series against the Orioles. And we'll see if there's any critical game situations perhaps for us to go into. It looks like there is, with Detroit down by 1. Top of the 9th. We've already scored once. And we got Scope at the plate 2 for 3 with Felix Bautista on the mound and Veerling at third. Chance for us to at least force extras here if they don't score bottom 9. So Scope steps up, and he has his average up to 270 on the season. So that's nice to see. First pitch taken, a slider. A little bit up there. And there is 2 outs as well, so this is pretty much it for us. We have to get on base here. And we crank it to center, but it's going right to him. Game over. So Santander went yard. Irvin gets the win, only allowed 1 earned run through 6.1. And Erod allowed 5 in the first inning and could not even finish it. Wow. So we simmed through game 2 against the Orioles, which was an 0-2 loss. And now we have an offer, a trade offer from the Giants. They want Eric Haas in exchange for Thairo Estrada. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly, but let's take a look at him. So he's currently 27 years old, 75 overall, B potential, plays second base most, but can play third or short, obviously. He's got some pretty good contact, better power against lefties. Plate vision, very good. Discipline, not so much. His fielding is kind of alright, not really in a great spot. He's got good speed, decent stealing, and so far this year he has averaged 238 on the season. Not much of a power guy, but he's got 20 hits and 84 at-bats. Got a couple of doubles, 1 triple, 1 homer. And last year he batted 260. Before that he batted 273, although on a much smaller sample size. So, interesting trade offer. But, I mean, if we trade Eric Haas, we have Jake Rogers and then pretty much nobody else at catcher, at least in the majors. I don't believe we have anybody in the minors that is a very good catching prospect. But, I mean, Haas so far this year is batting .323. That's probably why they want him. So, I mean, we're trying to win. We are above 500 for now still. I think we're 10-9 now. So, I think I'm just going to decline because Haas so far is playing pretty damn well, and I want to keep that going. So, if we lose this game, though, then we are below 500. And scouting first. So, we discovered 2 infield prospects internationally. We scouted 8 more left fielding prospects, and we scouted 8 catching prospects in Central again. So, let's go see how all of these went. We scouted Matthew Kyle, Emil De Los Santos, Pacheco, Moore, Castillo, Moore. So, it did scout these players more. So, these are pretty much, I think, the only prospects maybe in this region at this position or at these positions. So if you just keep hammering away at the scouting for each week for the first couple of weeks, then you can probably scout through a couple of the full positions that you really wanted to. So I'm going to save these specific prospect scouting for probably the last maybe 6 or 7 weeks. And then until we get to the halfway point, I'll just keep doing this. So I'm trying to figure out how I can sort by each region, but apparently I can't. So that's really cool. We sim game 3 against the Orioles, and we got swept. We lose the third game 1-5. Screwball picks up his first loss of the season. Tigers scored 1 run, and it was really only because Biggie just hit a single that brought home somebody, and we had 6 total hits. And Screwball, only 2 earned runs, but the offense just kind of was a letdown today. Then Joey Wentz came in and gave it 3 earned runs and 4 outs. And the Orioles had a homer once again from Santander and RBIs from Hayes, Urias, McCann, and Henderson. And it was Means that got the win, his first of the year, thanks to a 1 allowed run outing. Before we head to our minor league section for the episode, a couple of stat updates. Looks like Matt Vierling is batting very well at .333. He's not playing every game, but he's batting only against lefties, and he's hitting them very well so far, so that's nice to see. Akil Baddoo is keeping things up. Eric Haas batting strong. Miggy at .271. Nice to see, and he's already hit 3 homers, so is Haas. Riley Green yet to homer, but batting .265, which is above what he was hitting last year to this point, so that's nice. Jake Rogers, small sample size. Scope up to .250, so kind of floating around there for now. Meadows has upped his average. Maton has 2. Harry Carpenter still at .205, not batting very well. Might have to move him out of cleanup for one of our lineups. Ryan Kriedler not doing much better than Baez was at shortstop, and he's hitting less home runs too, so we're not getting any help there. And yeah. For our pitchers, our strikeout leader is Tarek Skubal. He is currently 3-1 this year. Turnbull is 3-0. He obviously has pitched a bit less than Skubal has. But in terms of ERA, Casey Mize is around 8, which is not very good, but he hasn't really played all too much. Erod, not having a great start to his year. He had that 1 really great game earlier, but aside from that, has not been very good, with a 6.62 ERA, 1.42 whip. Mize's whip is also pretty high, so definitely want to lower that, and that's not good. Matt Manning also having some pitching struggles. Lorenzen is 2, so at least 3 of our starters are having really rough starts to the year, and Matt Manning's whip is just incredibly high. I think you have to at least consider moving him to a bullpen role instead. I think that could be what you think about for a couple of these guys. Joey Wentz out of the bullpen, not doing very well. Skubal and Turnbull have by far been our best starters. Turnbull definitely has been the best guy in terms of not allowing runs. His whip is higher than Skubal's, but his ERA is much lower at 1.54. Matt Whistler has been pretty solid in his 7.2 innings pitched, so that's nice. Matthew Boyd has also been very solid in 24.2 innings, an ERA of .73. We might have to move him up in our rotation. In fact, I think I will. So Matt Manning is cold, and his whip is over 2. So I think he is done. We're going to bring in Matthew Boyd to add another lefty into our rotation. And I want to bump him up above Erod and Lorenzen. And I'm going to bump up Erod over Lorenzen here as well. So we're going to rock with this. So we have more of a southpaw lineup or rotation than most teams do, but I think it's worth trying this for a couple of weeks and seeing what happens. I'm also kind of intrigued by what Casey Mize can do as a starter, but he hasn't been very good as reliever, so might have to wait a bit on that. Before we cap this episode off with some minor league action, I have a quick question for you guys. I have a poll up on my channel right now, which you guys might have already seen / answered, and it's just what do you prefer for this series? Because I don't have the time really to record a full series, like an actual game during the week. I just don't have the time for that. I can do it on the weekends for sure, which I'm cool doing. So with that being said, I was thinking 2 options for a weekly schedule. I can either upload just a full video on either Saturdays or Sundays, whichever one works best for me. Just depends on how long it takes me to record / edit a video. But I can do one just huge episode every Saturday and Sunday, or Saturday / Sunday. So pretty much just once per week on the weekends. Or I could do 2 episodes where I put one up on, a Wednesday or a Thursday, and it focuses on doing some simming, doing some player locks, some scouting, some critical game situations, and also some minor league action too. And then the episode on the weekends can just be the highlights from a full condensed series. Both would be probably around 45 minutes if I had to guess. It takes me a while to actually put together all the footage because it takes a while to record all the footage for 1 month with how I want to do things. So just let me know what you guys prefer. I can do either one. Personally, I think that the 2-episode structure is a bit better because you guys don't have to wait a whole week to get some action, and you also just get a lot of stuff during the week, and then you have one a couple days later too. So just really up to you guys, but let me know in that poll on my channel or in the comments down below. I would really appreciate that. I also realized that putting Javi Baez on the 10-day IL actually is going to work as far as I know, and it also takes him off the active roster but keeps him on the 40-man. So we can call somebody up from AAA who is already on the 40-man and have them just be another backup until Javi gets back. So I think today, before we or after we do the player lock games, then we can kind of decide who we want to bring up. And for the Mud Hens, our AAA team, nobody has really played all too well except for like 2 players. You sort by the average at the very least. Dylan Dingler, who has not played a whole lot, has batted the best. Then after that, it's Zach Short and then Andrew Navigato. So we could look at Zach Short and Navigato as well. They are both in AAA, obviously. Navigato's at a better rating spot than Zach Short is, but Navigato is, heavily towards defense compared to offense. He's not terrible on offense, but his ratings aren't very good. Zach Short, honestly, is worse everywhere. So if Navigato keeps this up, he might be the guy that we go to. He's also, pretty good slugger, at least to this point on this season. And you know what? Actually, I think I'll do player lock with him because he can play second base, third base, first base, shortstop, and left field. I think he's the perfect guy to come up if he can keep this up, at least for the next month or 2 while Baez is out. So right now we are on the 24th, but we are about to advance the day, I'm pretty sure, and the Baltimore series, which is what I want to focus on for the full series, is a 4-game series. So we can afford to not watch the first game of that series and just watch the last 3. So that allows us to get at least 3 player lock games done with Navigato. Because if you look right here, our AAA team has no game today, but we do have ones on the 25th, 26th, and 27th. And that start time is 5 minutes before this Baltimore one. So I'm not sure how the scheduling works, but the game might consider the Baltimore game to be done after we finish the Syracuse one. So we can, do these 3 right here, and then that'll be it for Navigato. So here we go. Navigato, currently the 2nd best batter by average on the AAA team, and he leads off for Toledo down 1-0, bottom of the 1st. Inside pitch taken for ball 1. They got Sean Reed-Foley on the mound as we are way ahead of the slider. As soon as I see the ball that's going to be in the zone, I just swing, man. That one's low and swung on. Nice change up, 1-2. We were in front of that one as well. And the high fastball clipping the top edge of the zone. Got us to swing. Made no contact. No outs and no runners on for Navigato as we almost swung there. We checked it, but it was still in the zone. And we were still in front. Outside for ball 1. Swinging through the slider once again. My timing is awful. That one's outside. 2-2 pitch, belted right to the shortstop. That's Danny Mendick making the grab. That one felt better, but still could have done more with it, I feel like. All right, bottom 6, runner on first, no outs. Reed Foley's still pitching. Take the fastball right down the middle. That one's way too high. Head of the changeup now. Count goes 1-2. That one is a wild pitch. The runner will advance to second. And no throw is made. Now somebody in scoring position as the count runs even. The 2-2 pitch from Foley. Inside, almost hit Navigato. But it goes to a 3-2 count. Steele Walker on deck. And we belt that one to left. Diving play by Mendick. But Navigato has an infield single. Fantastic. All right, what can Steele Walker do? Grounds it. Double play ball. Flip is made. Throw to first. Not in time, so we are out. But runners at the corners for Cesar Hernandez, who's about to step up to bat. We won't see his at bat, though. Navigato leads off the 8 for the Mud Hens against Jimmy Yacobonis. We take strike 1. 0-2 hole. Fouled off. Wow. I cannot read sliders for the life of me. If you put a gun to my head, I think I'm dead. The Syracuse Mets take game 1 of this 6-game series. They won it 4-2. A 1-for-4 day for Navigato. Definitely could have had some better at-bats. At least we got one single, but I could have done a lot better. I will keep trying to improve. It's a process. We head to the second inning here in game 2 as the Mets are already up 5-0 on the Mud Hens. But Torque just doubled. Navigato batting 5th today, so he is behind Torkelson. We take ball 1. 2-seamer outside. Syracuse has Joey Lucchesi out there on the mound. Hopefully I said that correctly. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled. Way ahead of it. I'm just swinging. I see that little white ball and I swing. And that one's belted up the middle. That's going to get Torque home if he rounds third, which he will. We hold at first, and that'll bring home the first run for Toledo. Navigato with an RBI single right there. .3-0 count for Dylan Rosa now. And he draws the walk. Nice. Now it's Donnie Sands' turn. Batting .293, third on the Mud Hens so far this season, the young season. He steps up with Navigato in scoring position. He belts that one, but it's caught by the third baseman, Mark Vientos. Nice snag. Can Parker Meadows bring us home with a 1-2 count? Pitch is swung on. Belted to right field. Does it have enough? It doesn't. It's caught at the warning track. Navigato playing left field today with Timlo Castro at the plate. Got a slow start there, but we make the grab. The third is over. Bottom 3, Hernandez and Torque on base for us. As we hit that one right to the second baseman of the shortstop, rather. And it's an easy force out at second. That was a good pitch to swing on, though. I'm not upset. A torque double brought home 2 runs, so he is out there on second as we step up with 2 outs. Take ball 1. Could have gone either way, but we'll take the ball call. That one is a little bit inside, but called a strike. All right. Same spot is the changeup, 1-2. High fastball, got him. Top of the 8th, 0-2 hole for Thomas Nido as he skies this one right to Navigato in left. Catch is made. Syracuse brings in Jeff Brigham to lead off the 8th, or to pitch for the 8th. As Navigato will lead off for the Mud Hens here. You look at strike 1. Just a simple 4-seamer. Wow. I just don't have any words. I just don't. Ball 1 outside. There's ball 2. The 2-2 pitch from Brigham. Could have crushed that if we get good timing. But instead it's pulled foul. Wow. Went a bit lower on the slider, and that was all I needed on it. The Syracuse Mets take game 2 as well. This time it's a 5-4 win for them. Mud Hens are now just 9-15 on the season. Well, all right. We go into game 3. Our last action here in the minors for this episode. We take on Steven Ridings. Looking at the 2-seamer down there for the first pitch. Behind the 4-seamer now. Up there high in the zone. Already down 0-2. And we went around. Jesus. Castro at the plate, man on first for him, and no outs here in the 3rd. It's grounded. Double play ball. That's going to be 5-4-3. Double play. Great work. I got to do better, guys. I've had 2 singles in 2 games, but I can't say I've done well. Belted up the middle. It's going to be a base hit again for Navigato. All right, that was much better. 0-1 count for Steele Walker. Swung on, hit to first, double play ball. It's 3-4. Actually, it's like that was 3-6. That was 3-6-1, was it not? Second look. Yeah, it was. Nice play. The Mud Hens get on the board thanks to a solo shot from Cesar Hernandez. Now we got 2 men on for Navigato. 1 out, bottom of the 5th. There's ball 1. That one is chopped. We could have done so much better with it. Double play ball, but we're safe at first. The runner's at the corners. Thanks to that fielder's choice. Steele Walker back up. 0 for 2 so far today. 1-1 pitch from Ridings. Swung on. That's going to be a base hit. No, it's not. It's lined out. Right, Almonte. 1-2 count for Navigato. That's ball 2, but it won't be enough for the runner to advance. So Sands sticks at first. Now with an even count, what do we get? Inside pitch, but it's down the 3rd base line, and it's fair. We are going to stay at first, but it gets Sands over to second, no outs. So a chance for the Mud Hens to up their lead. Navigato now 2 singles on the day. Steele Walker once again up to bat. Over 7 so far in the series. As he swings through that one, he's down on strikes. There's 1 out. Hernandez steps up after a solo shot the last time he was at bat. That one is chopped. Throw is made. Double play ball. He's out at first. Wait, no, he's safe. I thought he was definitely out, but we got a nice call right there. And Torkelson brings home another run thanks to a single. Now we go to the top of the ninth with Tim Locastro up to bat with a full count. Grounds it to Navigato. Nice sliding grab. Throw to first. Skied. He airmailed it. That'll allow Locastro to go to second. Wow. Thought it would be a nice highlight for him, but it's steady. Just sailed it. A pair of walks and a double put Syracuse in front. And it looks like we are up to bat with 2 outs and 2 men on. Crunch time for Andrew Navigato. I'm not built for this. I quit. So 3 straight L's in the series to start this off for Toledo. We got 4 hits across these 3 games for Navigato, but definitely could have had some much better at-bats. And we're going to head back to the MLB. So the game did actually not sim this first one in the 4-game series against Baltimore. And I think I might sim it still, because I really only have time to get the highlights for 3 games, which is what most series are. So we're going to sim this game against Baltimore and try and get back above 500. And we do lose against Baltimore 2-7. What happened here? Looks like they had 2 hit days for Ryan Mountcastle and Mateo, while Urias homered. And it was Kramer, I think how you say his name. He gets the win. 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts through 7. Aiken came in, allowed 2 hits but no runs in 1 inning, and then Bautista closed it out. The Tigers had 2 hit days for Baду, Meadows, and Perez. Meadows went yard, by the way. And Lorenzen once again had a really poor outing. I thought I took him out of our starting rotation. Am I wrong? I think Navigato has made a really good case for him to be called up. But is he on the 40-man roster? He's not. Alright, so he's not on the 40-man. Our 40-man is currently full because Javi Baez still counts towards it, just not towards the active Major League roster. I think the best move is just to cut or place Freddie Pacheco onto waivers, I believe. Just remove him from the 40-man roster. I'm going to have to go through waivers, but that will take him off, and that should allow us to now add Navigato, if I am doing this correctly. And we can. And we're going to call him up for the time being, and this will allow us to keep him on the 40-man for the rest of the season. We can bring him in to start, maybe at shortstop in place of Kreidler, who is not batting very well. I think you give Navigato a shot. He can play short. Again, he's got low potential, but I think it's a move that needs to be made. And Kreidler is worse against righties in terms of his attributes than Navigato is. And the lefty ones are similar, but Kreidler does have a bit of a lead there. But we're going to bring in Navigato to start for now against right-handed pitchers. And for lefties, I think we'll keep Kreidler in for now. We can just have Navigato be a platoon guy and just a righty batter guy. I think that'll work. So that is how I'm going to end the episode, guys. Detroit is now 1 game below 500 as we are going into the last 3 games of a 4-game series against Baltimore, who is also 12-13. So 2 teams around 500 trying to battle it out and stay around or above that. So those next 3 games are going to come your way this weekend. So stay tuned for that. And until then, guys, thanks for watching and peace.